Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Today we had FUTmas day number 3. We had actually a freaking sick SBC in the name of Mr. Roberto Firmino. A very nice upgrade to his card, 88 rated, some boosted stats, and not that big of a price tag for this card. So I want to talk about what happened with these 3 SBCs today. If you haven't heard anything about them, they are on FUTbin. We'll look at them here in just a second, but they're not too expensive to complete. This Firmino, I think, is the most desirable SBC out of the 3 that came out today. Jose Callejon is a good looking card, but he has a 2-star weak foot, which really is not good for him. And then Zakaria is a pretty good card as well for right around 20,000 coins. If you have a Bundesliga squad and you want a center midfielder, that card is a pretty good deal in my opinion. But let's head on over here to FUTbin and check out some of these prices. Right now, Roberto Firmino is around 165k on the Xbox and the PlayStation, which isn't too terrible if you consider that he got a boosted stats from his UCL card, and his UCL card was commonly going for like 120 to 150,000 coins as that card got supplied onto the market. So I think if Firmino would have gotten an inform, it probably would have costed a little bit more than 167k. So I think that's a pretty good deal, especially if you can if you bought the cards beforehand, the 86 rated cards that you need for that SBC. I think you obviously did that for a little bit cheaper. It's probably a pretty good deal, and it's a card that you'll be able to use for a long time. It's a big boost to Firmino, who's a favorite. He links to a ton of special cards already in FUT, and that we're going to show today caused a lot of investment areas to be had. Callejon is 114k. Not many people are doing that. And then Zakaria is here about 25k, which I think is a pretty fair price tag and a pretty doable SBC in my opinion. So what happened today with Firmino being the focal point of today's SBC drop? What happened with a lot of prices today? Well, I want to first talk about other strikers and other center attacking mids in the Premier League that people might have sold or taken out of their teams to get that Firmino card, and this Lingard was one of the took a big hit today when that SBC came out. As we're going to see, we'll go down here to the hourly graph and look at what happened today, even though it says yesterday. So Lingard was chilling about 190,000 coins with his brand new upgrade to his road to the final card, and bang, he dumped down here to 150k. So he dropped about 40,000 coins in a flash. I picked up one for 150k, and as you'll see on my transfer list, I sold it for about 177, I believe. So that was a very nice little flip. So that was some panic that happened today, and it happened all across the board. We'll look at a few other cards that it happened to today. One was Kevin De Bruyne, who was arguably the best cam in the Premier League. He's 282 right now, but yesterday he dropped a little bit even lower, 266,000 coins, and he was at 300. Almost, just a little bit under 300 before that. So that was a 30k drop. And then I think the Ericsson card dropped today as well. I'm not too sure about the gold card. I'm sure it dropped with this Ericsson card. The team of the group stage, which is a very nice card, he went from about 320 to about 300, dipped under 300 there for a little bit. So this card definitely caused some things to change today on the market, and I was able to get in on some of that panic and some of that, that sell-off, as I did get a Lingard for 150 flat and I sold it for 177. I was gonna buy more and I wanted to buy more, but I kind of stopped myself because I didn't know how much he would rebound, and I didn't know if those were getting overhyped at all, the UCL or the road to the final items. But his price keeps rising, so that's something that I want to keep watching throughout the rest of this FUTmas promotion, is when we get panic like that, when we get a new SBC that everybody wants to do, what kind of cards are panic sold that are, not complementary goods, but substitute goods to that new item. Other than that, on the transfer list here, I have a bunch of Javi Martinez. I bought him for 4,800 coins. Last night, I bought about 40 to 50 of them because I knew we were going to get a Spanish player today, and we didn't end up getting a Spanish player that a lot of people wanted to do SBC-wise, but we did get Firmino, and I've sold on about 25 of these Javi Martinez cards, and I'm finally going to clear my transfer list because my transfer list is pretty full. But I've sold most of those cards today for lazy buyers at 6,800 coins. His price has really not gone up that much. He was somewhere around 6,000 coins for most of the day, but I was able to get a lot of lazy buyers for that price of 6,800 to 7,000 coins. So I want to look at Firmino's card as well. The gold card dropped massively today, as you probably could expect, because this new version is in the game. So people that had this card probably went and upgraded to this new FUTmas version. So we'll look at the hourly graph on the regular Firmino. He was about 30,000 coins, and he dipped all the way down to 23, which he is still very low at about 24,000 coins. The UCL version, the UCL rare blue card, had a very nice drop today as well. I bought one and I did flip it, but it went down to about 88k, which is where I bought mine, and it's now back up to 100,000 coins. And I would expect this card to actually keep rising and almost get back up to its normal price of about a 120k after this SBC goes away. Because we've seen it before with past Team of the Week players. They'll get a special card, and their other past Team of the Week cards or past special cards will rise because people have that idea of a card in their mind, and maybe they missed out on the SBC because they weren't able to do it, so they go and get that other version of the card just because they have that player. They saw the new special version, and it kind of reminded them, hey, that player's there. Hey, maybe I want to get this player into my team. So there were a lot of areas like that today where you were definitely able to make some coins. I did end up buying a special Jesus card for around, I think it was about 68,000 coins, and I don't know where he's at right now. He looks like he's still low 70s, high 60s, so he hasn't really risen much, but that's almost one of those complimentary goods and a substitute good. So people were probably selling Jesus to get Firmino, but also people were probably buying Jesus to link to Firmino. So that's kind of interesting concept, but it ended up his card going down a little bit today. And a lot of stuff around the board. You also had a guy like Fabinho, who was low in the past couple of days, but if you're going to play Firmino at center attacking mid, you need, basically, you're going to link him with Firmino, because that is a perfect link between these two guys, and Fabinho is one of the most overpowered center midfielders in the game. Today, right when Firmino's card was released, this Fabinho card went from about 39k to 43k, and then panic selling ensued. The investors that bought him up because they thought he was going to go higher, they sold, and he went back down to about 38, and now he's back up to 41. Right after squad battle rewards, which is when I am recording this. I have a couple of those cards on my transfer list. I still have some gold cards to sell, and there were a lot of requirements that went up today as well. I still have some that I am trying to sell for inflated prices. Fernandinho, Ederson, all the Brazilians, Naldo, and a lot of guys like that went up big time today. Even guys like PK. PK, it's at one point today, was selling for 50,000 coins. Some of the 87s went up like wildfire because of this SBC. You needed some pretty high chemistry to complete the SBC, so I think a lot of people had to get 87 rated cards into their teams for that. So if you invested in golds and you got out, I know in PS4 they didn't rise up that much, but the Brazilians, specifically the Brazilians, they did go up a good amount today. So I want to talk about what could be coming here in the next day. So we just had day number 3. We had the Spanish Nation. We had the 9th place team from the top 5 league and the number 9 player. I think I said that correctly. Got all the coordinates in there correctly. But I want to look at what is coming tomorrow. A little bit of prediction in today's video. I haven't done that much with these the FUTmas market talk videos, but I want to talk about, this is the Twitter post from Bwalds. I'll drop the link to his Twitter and to this post in the description. Check it out if you want to look at it a little bit more. But these are some of the predictions that he has come up with, and I think they are pretty solid. Now tomorrow, overall, looks like it might be a little bit of a step down from what we've seen in the couple of previous days of FUTmas, just because of the teams that they have. The number 8s that are out there aren't really the best looking. And, you know, it honestly might be good for the game to kind of let the 88s, the 86s through the 89s, kind of let them die down maybe a little bit. We'll see. A lot of these cards probably won't require high rated squads. They'll be 82, 83, or 84 rated squad requirements. So if you want to invest in some of those, we'll talk about a little bit of that here. So some of my favorites from this list, The 8th place finishing predictions, I kind of like Idrissa Gay, however you say his name, but I don't know if they'll do a card like that because we already have Lerma. They just released Torreira, and that would just be another center defensive mid, center mid from the Premier League, which is already pretty full, and there's a lot of players there you can use. Other than that, maybe a Tosun, maybe a Rebic, maybe a Fabian, you know, maybe there's something here that we're overlooking, but I think the most popular out of this would be a Cyprian. I think people would enjoy a Cyprian card, and we haven't got anybody from our League One just yet, so that will be interesting to see. So we also have the 8th ranked team in the world, and that is Switzerland, according to the world rankings. I think a lot of people would like to see this Akanji card, a Switzerland center back for Dortmund. A boosted stats here, as you can see, would be phenomenal for Akanji. And just a side note, I know this isn't the newest FUTmas card design, but it's just a card design they had on FIFA rosters, I think, where this was created, so don't worry about that too much. He's just trying to get out some player ratings and some player faces to see what could be coming. Rodriguez as well would be a nice left back. If they could boost his pace a little bit more, if that got to 80 pace, I think people would be very inclined to do that. And Berkey as well wouldn't be too bad. This Briel Mbolo card would actually be very nice as well. He had a once to watch card a while back in FIFA 17. So, and then player predictions for number 8. This is where it could get interesting, and they can maybe throw somebody in that might be pretty good. I know my face cam's probably blocking these off a little bit. But this is Sven Bender, the CDM here. We have Zakaria. He was already in, so we know that. So we can disregard this. But other guys like Ramsey would be nice. Brahimi would be a big surprise, and I think a lot of people would like that card. 92 dribbling, I bet it would feel pretty insane inside the game. Arthur would be nice. Winks would be cool. But I think a Saul or a Sanson would be the top 2, you know, out of this that people would like to see. Especially Sanson. We haven't had any League One guys yet, and that would be a very nice card to get for a if you have a League One team. That would be a very nice card to put in your League One squad. So I did talk about League One, and as we look at those predictions, it looks like League One kind of might be leading the way. So I picked up these Draxlers again tonight. A lot of the 83 rateds from La Liga are very, very cheap. As you'll see here, this Rabiot card, I'm picking him up for 1,700 coins, which is super duper cheap, and watching the prices of some other cards as well. But I do want to head back over to FUTBin here in just a second and look at a few cards. First off, I want to check on the 84 rated cards that I looked at earlier in the week, just because they have great nations and great leagues. And Payet is one of those cards. Is he up a little bit? He's just over 4K. I bought him on Thursday for just under 4K, and that paid off big for me because he had 7K in the hype. But if there is ever a French 84 rated squad requirement, or 83 or an 85, this Payet card could go crazy. And again, I want to make sure that you guys realize this as well. A lot of the hype and a lot of the, you know, if a requirement, let's say they require 84 rated squad and you need French players, the amount that this Payet will go up totally is determined on how many people will do the SBC. You're like, well, it makes sense. Yes, but today for Firmino, the reason why those high rated cards flew was solely because it was a desirable card. They gave him a good boost, and it was a pretty doable SBC. So if we get a doable SBC for a French player like a Sanson, and they require an 83 overall squad with maybe 2 or 3 French players, I think that 83 Frenchies could go up indeed. So as we take a look at some 83 rated players here, I want to show you guys how some of them could be very investable. I want to start off here with Kevin Strootman. If we get a League One requirement, this Strootman card, like let's say you need 3 or 4 League One cards in an SBC that people are going to do, this Strootman card is going to go crazy. This could go to 4K easily. He's a center mid, he's from Marseille, and he gets green links to so many different people from Marseille who are 83 rated. Down here we have Luis Gustavo from Marseille. He's at 1.4K. That's a phenomenal buy. And Balotelli honestly isn't a bad buy either, because he links to other Italians. He is in the League One, and he's at 1,200 coins. So if you're really itching to go insanely hard on some 83 rated investments, I think these are some guys you can look at right here. Even Ever Banega as an Argentinian looks pretty solid. And Luis Gustavo, Lucas Leiva, obviously the good links, good nations, and the center midfielders, they look pretty good for me. I'm going to go to page 2. because there are some other cards here on the next page that will be very good to invest in as well. Kovacic for 1.8k honestly interests me a little bit because we do have a Croatia, probably a Croatia SBC. There will be a FUTmas Croatia card, obviously, because we have the countdown of the nation ranking, and Croatia is in the top 5. So we'll see a Croatian requirement, I'm assuming, in the next couple of days. So this is a card to watch for that. Obviously, we do have my Julian Draxler card, who's at 2.2k, who, if you can get him on at 2,000 coins, I think is a phenomenal buy. Rabiot at 2k is an insane buy as well, and Morata at 2k is interesting to me because if they do come out with a Premier League SBC that maybe requires one Chelsea player, I could see that happening as we get towards the end. Maybe they require, like, let's say they put out a Chelsea SBC for somebody like, maybe it is Morata. He doesn't have any special cards this year. You know, this card, it could be an 83 or 84 rated squad. We need a Chelsea player. Morata would skyrocket in price for an SBC like that. But I think you want to stick to the cards that could be coming tomorrow, just because we want short turnaround on our investments as possible, so we can get in an investment, sell it, and get out as quickly as possible. So that's why I like Draxler. That's why I like, you know, those other guys from the League One. So we go to Draxler here. What's he chilling at right now? 22,000 coins. I think that's still a very good pickup. Anything at 2k or under for that card is very good. And I think Strootman is still at about 1,200, which is crazy to me. Wow, there's a ton of them at 1,200. There's a lot of them at 1,200 coins. I think that's a very good deal for a card who gets links. He gets a lot of links. You could link him to Promes on the left side. You could link him to, obviously, League One cards. So very linkable and very easy to invest in. Now, obviously, the only reason why I'm not buying a bunch of them, I'm going to buy a few of them, put them on my transfer list. But the only reason why I'm not buying a bunch of them is because I have them in the club already, and I just don't know how desirable those SBCs will be tomorrow unless they make them super cheap and boost the cards a lot. I don't know of a ton of people who are using a League One team. Yes, I know you have people that have a guy like Rashford up top, or excuse me, you have Mbappe on the right wing, maybe you have Lala right back, and you need somebody in there to link the two together. Maybe you're using Rabiot, maybe you're using some other Frenchman like Fekir, but I think if they had a FUTmas Cyprian like we showed in the predictions, that could be somebody who people would want to put in that spot, or in between Dani Alves and a guy like Mbappe. So that's going to be something interesting to watch as well. So we do get a very nice League One SBC tomorrow. I think we could get some of that, but other than that, tomorrow just might be an SBC day where everything is just kind of average, you know, and it's kind of, it doesn't roll off the tongue good. It's not fun for me to say that, but that's just kind of what I'm feeling. It would give the market a day to rest from that Firmino SBC. The 88s and lower, the 85s, 6s, 7s, and 8s would just have a chance to come back to earth a little bit. They probably will put out another SBC that gives out a decent pack inside the store like we had today. We had like a Prime Electrum Players pack that you could do a 4K. It costs like 4,000 coins to get that pack. So I could definitely see them doing that again, because that gets some players onto the market, especially if they give out a pretty good pack. And tomorrow I think we could get more icons. Right now the only two icon SBCs we have out are Ballack and Sol Campbell, and if we go take a look at the transfers, the lowest tier on the icons is very, very cheap. I mean, we're talking, it's the lowest that it's been in a long time, and I think that's kind of according to EA's plan right now. And I think EA wants these to drop. That's why they took the sets out. As you can see, they're 620k right now on the Xbox. I bet if you had some really good bidding skills, you could get one on bid for maybe less than 600k. So that's something to watch, and something to keep an eye on for sure. As we know, we're getting more icons throughout this period. It all depends on what kind of icons they come out with. If they come out with, let's say they drop a Prime Icon SBC for like somebody who's worth right around 1 million coins, so not a high tier icon, but a meta sort of desirable one. I'm trying to think of examples, but one doesn't come to mind at the moment. Let's say we have a Prime Icon that's right around 1 million coins, and they drop a Prime SBC for him, and they require an icon, but the rest only costs you about 100k. So maybe they require like that bronze squad, the silver squad, the gold squad, and an icon. So it costs you about with the icon, it costs you about 600k for the icon, and then maybe like 50k for the rest. I think people would do that. I think people do that because it would be a prime icon that they would have untradeable in their club. They get some packs for it. You get a 100k pack for the icon, and you would have a prime icon you could turn in for somebody like Balak or another prime icon that could be coming down the road. So that's how I see possibly an SBC coming out tomorrow. If they do bring out more icons, I think that's how they could do it. It would still keep the floor of the icons high so that their other icon SBCs stay expensive, because the lower that these get, the cheaper it is to do a Balak. So Balak might be like 100k cheaper right now. I know the high rated golds are up, but the icons are dropping down. So when that can kind of level out, if you can get an icon for cheap before they go back up again, then you can wait until the golds get cheap, because you have 30 days to do Balak if that's something that you're looking to do. So I think something like that could be coming tomorrow as well. But again, envisioning tomorrow, I don't see anything super duper amazing coming. That's why I'm not going out and buying 50 Draxlers or 50 of these Rabios right now, kind of like I did last night with Javi Martinez. Tomorrow's just kind of be probably a maintenance day. I'm going to be looking at Team of the Week items that do get very cheap, and like even some panic selling from the weekend league, like this Royce card's under 300 coins right now, which is pretty crazy. And the João Cancelo inform from Team of the Week 13. I'm going to look at that really fast because that card is very cheap. 86 rated card. I have the ones to watch on my transfer list right now, but this card's 130,000 coins, and people were paying a lot more than that for the 84 rated card earlier in the year. Since the market is at a very low point right now, it's obvious to see that we're going to need some type of inflation of packs, or not inflation, but we're going to need some coins pushed onto the game, whether that be through lightning rounds on the actual Christmas holiday, or other things like that. We will have to see. So we're just going to be watching that. Obviously, we're going to be watching what they put out for these FUTmas SBCs. It could get interesting. Hopefully tomorrow we do get some nice League 1 SBCs, but I just don't think they're going to be anything too spectacular. So I think tomorrow might just be a day to sit back, look at the market, and see what moves you can possibly make. Enjoy the new Firmino card if you have it. Enjoy the other FUTmas SBCs, and just be ready. If you enjoyed this video, smash a thumbs up on it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below if you did that Firmino card. Let me know how he is, because I'm tempted to do him, but I don't think he's going to make it into my squad since I have a La Liga team right now. So again, thanks for watching. It's been Nate, the Foot Accountant. Catch you guys later. Peace out.